Hey, sweet teas, and welcome to Tea and Talk, a self-development podcast. I'm your host, Taffia Stokes. You know, they say a woman is like a cup of tea. You can't tell her strength until you put her in hot water. Well, the water is hot, sis, so let's see your strength. Grab your tea and get comfortable, and join me as I get into it on this episode of Tea and Talk. Hello, sweet teas, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Talk. I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in this week, and I hope you are all starting your week off fresh with a clean slate, a clear mind, replenished, energized, and rejuvenated. For today's episode, I wanted to talk about the feeling of being kind of overwhelmed. Here we are in 2021, after a whirlwind year of 2020, which many of us thought would be a year filled with nothing but greatness, success, and prosperity, right? The 2020 vision. We have had moments of positivity, self-reflection, and growth, while on the other hand, we have had many moments of despair, anxiety, anger, and frustration. With everything that has happened in 2020, and even the start of 2021, it can cause us to feel overwhelmed if we aren't already feeling that way. For me, it was the start of 2020. As many of you know, losing one of my best friends, my grandmother, then being told that they were closing my office down in July. Yeah, so I went from a very comfortable job where I was very, on my own, and I was the only nurse practitioner in the primary care office, to then moving to a job which I love even more, though. I ain't gonna lie. I always wanted to be in women's health, and now I am there in women's health, helping women of all walks of life, and I just love it. So the holidays weren't the same. We had to be on Zoom instead of being near one another and being able to embrace one another, but we were together via Zoom, right? Many of us. Maybe you lost your job and haven't found another one, or you lost your job and found another one, but it isn't making ends meet. Maybe you have lost loved ones. Maybe you have lost financial stability and the feeling of security. Maybe you have lost faith. Maybe your children are school-aged and you aren't sure what the outcome of the school system will be. If they're going to go to school or if they're going to need to stay home for school. If you do have a job, will they allow you to work from home because of your child? If not, then what's plan B? Or your child is college age and you've already paid tuition, room and board, but they may not even be allowed to go on campus. You don't know what to do or where to go. Everything is just hitting you all at once. You're overwhelmed. The stressors, tasks, and emotions appear to be too big of a load for you to handle. So how can you tell if you are overwhelmed? You may have difficulty sleeping, either falling asleep, staying asleep, or you sleep way too much. I was the one that couldn't sleep. For months, and still occasionally now, I struggle to fall asleep. My mind goes on apeshit mode, and every good idea I have usually comes from the hours when I should be asleep. If you are feeling overwhelmed, you may feel anxious about certain tasks throughout the day. You have a difficult time focusing or concentrating throughout the day. You may begin to feel more emotional. So how do you combat those feelings of overwhelmness? Well, if you aren't sleeping enough, maybe develop a bedtime routine and stay consistent. Maybe you watch a show before bed to help wind down, or read a book or listen to music. Avoid caffeine within a couple of hours of your bedtime. This will cause you to not be able to fall asleep with ease and have racing thoughts in some cases. Ensure that your room is conducive to sleeping, dark and cool, free of excessive LED lights, etc. Make sure you are trying to lay down and go to bed at the same time each night. Try not to make it so late. Whatever the case, develop a routine that works for you. If you feel tired no matter what, then maybe you need to begin to take a closer look at this. Are you eating healthy snacks throughout the day, or are you consuming empty carbs that just fill you up but don't provide any nutritional benefits? Are you sleeping at a decent hour? If you begin to feel anxious or stressed, try to take a step back and take a break if necessary. Anxiety is your mind telling you that what you are doing is a little too much at this time. Maybe you need to take some time to focus on you, your needs, and y'all know what I'm about to say, your self-care. If you have difficulty focusing or concentrating, maybe you need to cut down your tasks. You may be taking on too much. Cut your bigger tasks into smaller tasks. Remember that progress, no matter how big or small, is still progress. Maybe you need to fuel yourself with nutritional snacks to help you focus and concentrate. If you begin to feel more emotional, try confiding in someone who you know you can trust. Again, this would be the perfect time to implement some self-care strategies into your routine. Meditate, journal, walk, yoga, etc. Anything that will help your mind relax and be at ease. Change your thought process when it comes to feeling overwhelmed. Don't digest it as stress, but instead digest it as you would your food. You have an appetizer that may be small at first. You eat that or snack away at that before you then move on to the main course. With the main course, you take your time to eat it. You savor every flavor and bite, and you make sure to pace yourself. Then you end with a nice dessert that you were looking forward to throughout the process. You now get to enjoy the sweet and savory flavors of that. So in essence, pace yourself. Enjoy the process, take breaks, and stop when you are full. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Tea and Talk. Stay tuned every Monday for new episodes. If you love Tea and Talk, be sure to give a rating and your feedback at the end of this episode. Want more Tea and Talk? Join the Tea Party VIP group. Click the link in the description of this episode to learn more. I'm excited to talk to you all next week. So until next time, love and light.